Hi, everyone. I'm Prafull, and I'm a product manager on Google Play Instant team. Last year, during I/O 2017, we announced Android Instant apps, and we made them available to all app developers. This year, we extended the same platform to all game developers as well. We now call it Google Play Instant, where all apps and game developers can build instant native experiences for their users. This is very important to understand that these apps are the same Android apps that users go to the Play Store, find, and install. Just that now they can access these apps via URL, via the Try Now button, and various other surfaces that I'll talk about. So why build instant apps when we have such a flourishing, successful Play ecosystem? Let's look at some data. According to recent ComScore report, users spend 87% of their mobile time in apps, compared to only 13% on web, which means that whenever they are on phone, almost always, they are inside an app. If you read this number, you would believe or imagine that if users are spending so much time, then they must be finding a lot of cool new apps and installing them. Well, quite the opposite. The same report shows that 51% of the users install no apps in any given month. It makes us wonder why. Well, app discovery is hard. As developers and owners of app, you can relate to the fact that getting users to find your app is indeed a challenge. And we ourselves have done several user studies and collected data to find out more. Here are some actual quotes from our users. They say, apps, they take up space on my phone, and my phone runs slower. They also say that if I'm just ordering a pizza, I don't want to have to download an app. Many of them mention that the process of installation, it feels like more steps between me and the information that I want. And at Google Play Instant, we totally relate to these concerns and have been working hard to remove these steps between users and apps. So let's first see how Instant App work in action. Please roll the video. So that's the magic of Google Play Instant. Users can experience native Android apps from almost any Android device that they are running. In fact, if you're using Android Lollipop or above, you can tap on a URL and be ready to land into an instant experience. From our end, we have been working hard with our OEM partners, and now there are more than 1 billion Android devices that can run Instant App. This is extremely useful and good for users. For developers, it is even more useful and important. This is quite important to understand. There are 3 things that I'm going to talk about in this session today. The number 1 is how Instant App can improve discovery of your app. You all have built a lot of cool new apps, but how are people going to find them is something that Instant App can help you with. Number 2, Instant App is going to help you drive installation. Number 3, once the first 2 steps are done, Instant App really start to impact the business. We will share some case studies and data from the partners who have launched Instant App. So let's start with improving the discovery. Google search, one of the most powerful discovery surface. Today, if you have a web traffic website or URL that appears in Google search results, when users tap on that URL, it is likely that they go to your website. With your app becoming instant, the same tap on the URL can land users in a native Android experience. This is an example of our early partner, Realtor, who have enabled majority of their URLs to trigger an Instant App. Ads, another powerful discovery surface. Before Instant Apps, if you came across an ad like this of a game, let's say Clash Royale, you click on the ad to go to the Play Store. In Play Store, you click on Install button to download the app. Then you wait for download to finish. Then you click on Open button. And all those steps just disappear magically with Instant App. So the tap on the Try Now can land users directly into rich feature native experience without the need of installation. And once your app is instant, it does not need to be limited to discovery surfaces such as search or ads. You could start to look for where your users are and enable the discovery of your app right there. The third example from our Instant App partner, Wiki. They noticed that the content that they offer, users are trying to find in Play Movies app. But when users find content, they hit the installation friction. They see the Install Wiki button, and there are users who do not decide to install. It is quite a no-brainer for Wiki, who have already built the Instant App, to replace the Install Wiki button with Watch on Wiki button. So now when users go to the Play Movies app, search for the content, they just tap on the button and immediately start watching the content that they have to offer. So we saw how enabling discovery on various surfaces allows users to find the app that you have built when they really are looking for it. Let's talk about installation. Now, if you saw the video, it is a little bit counterintuitive that if users do not need to install the button to experience the app, then how Instant App are driving more and more installation for our partners. Let me start with the Play Store that we all are familiar with. When users land on a Play Store listing page, such as Holler in this case, the click on the install is not immediate. They go through certain questions in their mind, and we have done user studies to understand them better. For example, they will think, do I really have space on my phone to download this? Do I really need this right now? Will it offer me the content that I want while doing shopping? Will this be useful, etc., etc.? They eventually are looking for some sort of window shopping option that they do not have today. But once you build an Instant App, we automatically and immediately enable the Try Now button for your Android app. So that when users land with the intent to install, they continue to have an option to install. And when users are not ready to install, they still have a choice to try your app. This is very powerful because now you have informed users who are experiencing your app who were not ready. But once they see the value proposition or benefits of your app, they are more likely to install from within the instant experience. This is equally true for games as well, where if you're not sure about the game that you want to play, you can simply click on the Try Now button, start enjoying the game, and once you like it, you have option to install. The Try Now button, for Mighty Battles, for example, has resulted in up to 19% additional installation. This means the users who were not sure about the game started experiencing and playing the game and eventually decided to install. While the exact installation uplift depends on many factors, the one thing is very clear. Once you build an instant app and enable Try Now, you are inviting more and more users within your app. And then it really depends on how you onboard those users, show them the value to really become your permanent users. How easy it is to enable Try Now is evident from this slide. Just going to your Android manifest and adding a default URL is enough. It is more of a configuration rather than a coding change. And if you are a game, or if you do not have a prominent web traffic or web URL, even a default URL is not needed. So literally, once your app becomes instant, this is zero effort, enable the Try Now button. Web banners. This is another great discovery surface for users. Today, it is very common to find websites which will promote the installation of the app. You go to the particular website, and the website will divert you to install the app. There are tons of benefits of doing so. But users have the similar commitment anxiety or same questions that they ask themselves as we discussed on the Play Store listing page. The moment they see the installation button, they have anxiety to install or not give the storage on their device. With Instant App, the install button can actually become the open button. So when users see the banner, they can simply tap on the banner to land into the native experience that you have built. But now there are two extra benefits that users and you have. One is users are more informed. They have seen your app, so they know what they're getting into. But more importantly, you as a developer control the look and feel, the positioning, the timing of this install button. You can really integrate this install at the very right time in the user journey and upsell it well so that users are bought into installing your app. And we have seen that they are installing. As far as effort goes, similar to Try Now, this is so simple as adding a URL parameter to the existing URL that diverts user to the Play Store. So typically, you will have a banner which will send user to the Play Store with a URL similar to play.google.com, etc. Once you build an instant app, you simply add and launch equal to true as a URL parameter, and we will do all the heavy lifting, which means if users can run the instant app, we will land them in instant experience. And for whatever reasons, if they could not load the instant app, let's say they were using previous versions of Android, we will continue to divert them to the Play Store as they were going before. So it's a win-win for all sorts of users. Many users or many developers we were working with talked about enabling or building Instant App, but the current app size is being very, very large. With Configuration APK that we announced last year, we now enable developers to really reduce the size of their app by delivering locales, ABIs, and density, which is appropriate for users' devices. If you have been following I/O announcement, this is similar to Android App Bundle site savings. The Configuration APK can shrink the size of your app to start it bringing closer to what we call a 10 megabyte entry point that we'll talk about. The second announcement that we had at I/O was Play Core Library. If your app is not yet ready to be small enough to be instant, you can use Play Core Library to download the additional bits on the fly. So let's say you have a 14 megabyte app. Once you have a 4 megabyte entry point, you can download the 10 megabyte while users are onboarding the app, which means the app is still instant, and it can be discovered on all those discovery surfaces that we talked about. So we looked at how Instant App enables or improves the discovery and drives more installation. But once you get these two right, the real benefit is impacting the business matrices that you all care about. Let me share with you the story of Vimeo. Vimeo is our early Instant App partner who built their Instant App last year when we announced for general availability. This is how their apps look like. But from a normal inspection, it is just a video with a bunch of suggestions. This was very similar in terms of look and feel to what they had to offer on their web. So visual comparison wouldn't reveal a lot unless until they started to look at the data that users were watching more content, up to 130% more when they are in native app compared to the same set of users when they are going to the web. We published a success study on Instant App Portal externally. But when Vimeo saw the data, they immediately started to divert all their web traffic to Instant App. So in 2017, 50% of their URLs were triggering Instant App, and 50% of the traffic was going to the web. But because every session of Instant App traffic was way more valuable for their business, they started routing all those to Instant, eventually impacting the business, which really are the key matrices that they look at on a day-to-day basis. Not just that, they also started to notice that a significant part of their traffic or the installation now comes from Instant App. And Vimeo is not the only one. Here are two other examples that we have published, again, the case studies on. NOS, which is a Dutch company and news business, and Realtor.com is a real estate company in the United States. Both these companies have seen Instant App driving a significant part of installation for their business. This is very key to understand that if installation is how you define your success, then Instant App is the enabler of those installations that might be missing in absence of Instant. But it doesn't stop at installation. Once you're gathering more installation and users are in rich native experiences, you start to see the impact on metrics like purchase conversion. So Vigo is a travel company. Holler is in e-commerce. They both reported more than 20% improvement in purchase conversion delivered by the Instant App that they built, which really means that they had a bunch of traffic which was going to their website and not completing the journey, dropping off, facing issues, so on and so forth. They took the same traffic and diverted to the native experience or the Instant App that they built. and started to see that the users' engagement and purchases really improved by up to 27%. Wiki. Wiki has been one of the very successful story or example of implementing a native experience enabled on multiple discovery surfaces. Before Instant App, a user typically used to watch around 9 minutes of videos when they went on wiki.com. The same set of users, when landed into Instant App, watched up to 47 minutes video on an average. So they saw 5x improvement in the watch time after publishing their Instant App. Not just that, they also noticed that the users who are coming via Instant register more, watch more, subscribe more. And they are subscription-based business, eventually impacting the bottom line. With these three things taken care of, the next obvious question that we asked ourselves is, building an Instant App is the first step. How are you measuring how much impact it is delivering? We have been putting tons of resources and bandwidth into building reporting that will set you up for success. Starting with Google Play Console. This is a familiar page for you, but for Instant App, when you go to Statistics and configure your report to look at Instant App matrices, now you can break it down by referral platform. So using a dimension to really understand where are your installs coming from, where is your traffic primarily driven by. In this particular case, Play Store, browser, search results are some of the sources that are actually contributing to the session and installation of an Instant App. You can slice the data to understand what is working for your Instant App and which one you can tweak further to improve. For the second reporting console, the Google Search Console, we have enabled all the URLs with a filter of Google Play Instant. So now, when you go to your Google Search Console, you can start to slice and dice the web traffic that you had by Google Play Instant filter, which would mean that you can actually look at how many clicks, impressions, CTR, average position, corresponds to Instant App URL that you have enabled for your search. You can also look at what queries are triggering the Instant App from Google Search, what pages are being rendered. So what's next from our team? We have been thinking continuously about enabling more and more user journeys, which you guys really want to invest time into. The number one problem that we want to solve is the size problem. And there are tons of development since I/O that we have put our resources into. We have launched a beta program for the size reduction, or reducing the entry point size for your Instant App. This means that you actually can launch an Instant App, which means the Try Now button and the web banner that we saw, as long as your app size is under 10 megabytes. This limit during the last I/O announcement was 4 megabytes, but we understand that certain discovery surfaces work very differently. And by signing up to this beta program, we can work with you to enable the launch of your app as instant on Try Now and web banners. The second key announcement is launch of notification beta program. So we understood that a lot of Instant App use cases would be incomplete without the notification functionality. These are value-adding notification that must be delivered to users to complete the user journey. For example, when your cab arrives, your food gets delivered, or your package ships. In all such cases, if there is a part of the user journey that needs to be enabled, you can sign up to this beta program, and then we can work with you to get those notifications implemented. The third and the most important is that at Google, Android App Bundle team and Instant App are working very strongly together to ensure that once you have a bundle from the point of view of size reduction, as long as this bundle is less than 10 megabytes, we can enable that bundle to be instant, which would mean that from the developer point of view, you just need to do the work once. And then you can start using all the heavy lifting that we are doing to publish the bundle from the installed app and enable the same bundle to be instant. You can very well start with building Google Play Instant as well, and we will ensure that your migration paths are merged and successful. I would like to announce that tomorrow we are doing a workshop where we are helping developers live to convert their app into instant app. So if you are interested, I know that a bunch of partners have already registered, but if you want to sign up for the workshop, then please feel free and come talk to us in the speaker area. We'll be more than happy to get you signed up as well. Thank you.